I've said before, and I'll say again, there is a lot to admire about Donald J. Trump. I should say President Donald J. Trump. He's someone I didn't vote for. I probably would never vote for him. I say probably because I could see a situation where I would vote for him. But most likely it's not going to happen, the situation that's in my head. That's okay, though. But anyway, so there's a lot to admire about him. One of the things that I admire about him is how straightforward he is. Also, how he triggers people intentionally. I think that that's actually a good thing in certain situations. I know some of you disagree with me. That is totally okay. Oh, by the way, if you're hearing like roaring and stomping around, it's because my kids are up there playing with their friend, and they're listening to some dinosaur song, so they're stomping and pretending to be dinosaurs. So sorry about that. But anyway, 2 tweets here that I think are hilarious. This one was the first one I found. This is Donald J. Trump talking about that stupid video that Elizabeth Warren did, where she's kind of awkwardly drinking this beer, and this is what Donald Trump says about it. Best line in the Elizabeth Warren beer catastrophe is to her husband, "Thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here." It's their house. He's supposed to be there. Classic. I love it. And then this one's great. This one is great. And in fact, this is something that I think a lot of people on my side really need to learn. So this is we'll just play it. We'll see what he has to say.
Who did? Who cares?
What we have here is we've got a CNN reporter, I think, saying, "Hey, President Trump, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez called you a racist." And Trump says, "Who did?" And the reporter says, "Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez." And Trump says,
"Who cares?"
It's so funny. Like the left has overplayed the racist card so much that most reasonable people, if they're called a racist now, they don't care at all. They know they're not racist. The words have no power if you overuse them. It's such a ridiculous thing. If everybody's a racist, then nobody's a racist. I know there's people who disagree with even that, but the point is. And this is exactly how you handle it. When Jamar Tisby or someone else calls you a racist, Thabiti, Anyabwili, if they call you racist, this is the response.
Who did?
Who cares? We're almost to the point where if certain people out there don't call you a racist, then there's probably something wrong with your beliefs, because if they don't call you a racist, then they consider you a friend, and there are certain people you should not be friends with. Anyway, 2 awesome tweets, but then there are 2 ridiculous tweets. Now, this one was sent to me by a lot of people. This was Thabiti Anyabwili. Thabiti Anyabwili. He tweeted this. I saw a couple people mention this. A lot of people sent it to me. Just curious what my thoughts were on it. And I saw Pulpit and Pen do a quick article about it. And here's what the tweet says. Ready? This is classic Thabiti. "If I were the head of state for an American ally, I would be working to convince other American allies to work together to hack the next election, to choose for the U.S. a normal president so we could return things to normal. The world can't afford more of this." Now, this is one of the stupidest tweets I've ever read. Now, most people jumped all over the apparent calling for a crime to happen. So most people were like, and I think this was what the article said too. I didn't read the article. I just saw that title. But most people jumped all over the idea of calling for someone to hack the election, right? And that's a crime. And a passer shouldn't be, calling for a crime. And honestly, let me just be honest about this. I don't think that he was actually serious. I think this is like a kind of a sarcastic joke. This is his personality. He jokes like this from time to time. It's not a very funny joke, compared to Donald Trump's amazing tweets, but you can't really blame him. We all know that the left can't meme. Maybe he's not. Who knows? I don't really care, to be honest. That part is actually not the most interesting part to me. The most interesting part is there's 2 things that I noticed about this tweet. If you read it carefully, you can see sort of where Thabiti's assumptions are coming from, where he really stands, where his foundational principles really are. Number 1 that I noticed is when he says they should choose a normal president for us. a normal president for us. And I would assume, and I think it's a very safe assumption to say that Barack Obama is a normal president. Now, Barack Obama, let's just be honest, Barack Obama was an evil president. Barack Obama, at his hands, there is tons, gallons and gallons and gallons of blood on Barack Obama's hands. Barack Obama was not a good guy. Barack Obama was an unjust guy. Barack Obama led all kinds of injustice. Barack Obama was look, let's just be honest. I mean, history will look back on Barack Obama as a warlord, which he was. He was a warlord. He is a warlord. So that's who Barack Obama is. But he's normal because he didn't talk dirty. He didn't have a potty mouth. He didn't say exactly what it is. He didn't say things like,
"Who cares?"
He was not uncouth. His demeanor was very stately as he was slaughtering thousands. His demeanor was very, very proper as he supported all kinds of abortion up to the point of birth. His demeanor was so prim and proper that it made all that evil go down smooth. And that's a normal president, according to Thabiti Anyabwili. When the president is a little bit uncouth, when he eats McDonald's, when he is just, speaks like a normal guy kind of thing, that's when the world can't afford more of that. Which is the second thing I noticed about this tweet. The world can't afford more of this. Now, here's the thing. Donald Trump was a duly elected president, elected by Americans. But if you notice, here's the second thing I noticed about this. What's concerning Thabiti is what the world thinks. The world can't afford more of this. Well, the reality is there are lots of other countries and leaders that actually support the president, that are actually pleased to have a president who is like Donald Trump. There are lots of people that respond well to presidents like Donald Trump. And so what he means when he says the world, he means our prim and proper Western allies that really don't like someone who's like Donald Trump. No. They like the liberal kind of president, the normal kind of president who, he might be a warlord, but it makes it go down smooth. You see, Thabiti is all twisted up here. He wants a liar, someone who will lie to your face and then cause all kinds of injustice and evil. But that's actually what Thabiti prefers. Instead of someone who's direct, not proper according to liberal standards and things like that, that's actually bad. And also, what he cares about is not really what Americans want, not really what the United States wants. No. What matters is what the world thinks about us. The world can't afford more of this. Well, Thabiti, guess what?
Who cares?
Let's take the world's perspective for a second, right? Was Obama good for the world? Exporting our pagan ways, exporting our infanticide, dropping bombs left and right. I mean, you know how many people died? You know how many people in the world died because of Obama's policies and his nonsense and all the ridiculous stuff that he exported, that he supported, that he funded around the world? You think Obama was good for the world? You have to have severe political blinders on in order to think something like that. Yeah, this is a stupid tweet for so many different reasons. Thabiti is a leftist. There's just no question about that. He is a leftist. It's good to know where he stands. It's good to know that. He's a troublemaker. He likes to tweet this kind of stuff to trigger people, which I don't have a problem with. I think it's okay to tweet certain things to trigger people if that's what your goal is. However, he is on the wrong side of lots of issues, especially when it comes politically. He's just on the wrong side of a lot of things. That was actually not the worst tweet that I saw, though. This is the worst tweet that I saw, though. This is Mika Edmondson. He is an Orthodox Presbyterian minister, which I find to be very troubling for the eventual future of the OPC, if this is the kind of perspective that they're okay with. Mika was responding to someone who asked him about you've heard about this, the PCA church that was going to have a transgendered lesbian who's in a lesbian relationship teach them about how great transgenderism is, blah, 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 blah. And somebody asked him about that, and he said, well, it sounds like those precious saints are going to learn about transgender and how to love transgendered people. No, that's not actually what they were going to learn at all. They were going to learn about the glories of homosexuality and transgenderism and things like that. Now, it's an obvious, and it was going to be on the Lord's Day, and it was going to be at this church. Obviously, any pastor worth their salt needs to condemn that immediately. That's not what you use the Lord's Day for. It's not what you use any day of. Churches aren't supposed to be preaching how good transgenderism is. Okay, so the fact that Mika doesn't understand that, I mean, it tells you all you need to know about his priorities. He's not concerned with Scripture, what actually matters to Scripture. He's concerned with this phony baloney, made up, rampant racism that's everywhere. That's what Mika is all about. Now, but he goes even further than that, because what concerns Mika is this. Ready? He doesn't care about transgenderism, doesn't care about homosexuality in the church and things like that. No, what he's really deeply concerned about is the unchecked gossip, malice, unwholesome speech, and uncharitable assumptions that pass themselves off as public discourse. This is a much greater threat to the souls of conservative Presbyterians than the South City being too kind to transgender folk. Do you see how he frames this? He's a sneaky little liar. He's a sneaky little liar, because here's the thing. Gossip, to say that that people's concern with this event is gossip, means that there were some behind the scenes things that these people didn't want anyone to know. No, this was public knowledge. They wanted people to come to this transgender celebration event. This is not gossip. This is someone saying, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. So that's a lie, Mika. Malice. Wow. I mean, look, if you're telling transgender folks that it's great to be transgender and how Jesus was transgender and things like that, you know what? You actually are showing malice. And to say that you shouldn't do that is not malice. That's a lie, Mika. Unwholesome speech. There's the potty mouth again.
Who cares?
Uncharitable assumptions. What assumption was in place? We didn't see. Here's the thing: people who brought attention to this weren't saying that people were doing it for such and such reason, just assuming. No. They were just saying this is being done. This is wrong. This is not an assumption that it's being done. It is being done. It is public knowledge. It has been celebrated. They want people to come to the event. There's no uncharitable assumption there. It's just a fact. But no. What really matters is bringing attention to the problem. That's the real issue. So yeah, liberalism is taking over a certain section of the PCA, but no, that's not the problem. What the real problem is, pointing it out. That's the real problem. Mika is sneaky. Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're not this stupid. This is a tactic here, being too kind to transgender folk. Are you serious, Mika? My goodness, I'm deeply concerned about the gossip. I'm deeply concerned about your tweet. You know, Mika's been at this kind of thing a long time. I remember right before I got a new computer, I recorded a video about a tweet storm where Mika listed a whole bunch of things that the Bible really does say about females, about how to be feminine, and he says it's not feminine to be like that. Like it's not. These are all made up. These are all from English culture, not from the Bible. And it's just all a bunch of obfuscation. It's all a bunch of sneaky lies. He's essentially, bought into this sort of egalitarian nonsense. He's putting forward egalitarian arguments. I don't know if he considers himself one, but this, maybe I'll release this video. I have to go find my old computer and find the file rather in my old computer. Maybe I'll release it because it was a ridiculously horrendous thread. Okay, this is a tweet that you made. It's not gossip. This is a public tweet, and I think it's a malicious tweet. I don't care about the unwholesome speech. I don't think you have any unwholesome speech, but the uncharitable assumptions that you're making, that's a concern to me, because not only is it in support of evil, what God calls an abomination, but it's also written in such a way to trick people who aren't paying attention. Mika, shame on you. Shame on you. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. God bless.
Who did?